Welcome to the deep dive. There's always that chat, isn't there? Who are the real all-time greats in football?
Oh, absolutely. Endless debate.
And today we're going to tackle a really key position, maybe sometimes overlooked, the defensive midfielder.
The engine room.
Exactly. And we've got this fascinating source to work from an article from Al Jazeera. It's called Hatsa Hibeis Hi Yutuasatsu.
Which basically translates to the 10 greatest defensive midfielders in football history.
Right. Thanks for that.
No problem. And look, this isn't just like some random list they've thrown together. The article actually lays out the criteria.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
Well, things like how important they were to their teams, obviously. Major trophies club, international, the lot.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and their individual awards, those moments, the iconic stuff that sticks in your memory, and just their overall stamp on the game, really.
Okay, so it's pretty thorough. Our job then, I guess, isn't just reading out 10 names.
No, definitely not. We want to get under the skin of it.
Yeah, like what actually made these guys so good? What were those qualities? How did they, lift their teams?
And why are we still talking about them? That's the key. It's about understanding what that defensive midfield greatness really looks like.
Right. So just to give everyone a taste, the 10 players we're going to be chatting about are Lothar Matthäus.
Yep. Sergio Busquets.
Aaron Winter.
Claude Makélélé.
Roy Keane.
Fierce.
Yeah. Patrick Vieira.
Didier Deschamps.
Carlos Dinga.
N'Golo Kanté.
And Xabi Alonso. Quite a lineup.
It really is. Some massive names, maybe one or two surprises for some listeners. But yeah, let's dive in.
Okay, first up, Lothar Matthäus.
Now, he's interesting because the article mentions him playing midfield and sweeper. Kind of versatile, huh?
Hugely versatile. And that's the thing about Matthäus. His skill set was just immense. He wasn't just about winning the ball back.
What else then?
Well, think powerful running, stamina for days, really smart tactical understanding. Plus, brilliant passing and a heck of a shot on him.
Wow. All-rounder. Totally. And get this. Diego Maradona called him his best rival. That tells you something, doesn't it?
It really does. Massive respect there. And he captained Bayern, captained Inter.
Yep. Won, 7 German league titles?
7, plus 2 UEFA Cups. Sounds like he was just central to everything those teams did.
He really was, like a cornerstone for a whole generation of midfielders. Just quality and leadership wherever he played. Okay, moving on. More recent player. Sergio Busquets.
Ah, Busquets. Barcelona legend. The article talks about his intelligent reading of the game. How did you see that play out?
For me, he was the absolute brain behind that whole tiki-taka thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, him, Xavi, Iniesta. It was like they knew where each other were without looking.
Exactly. And the article mentions his mastery of that style. But what was that mastery? It was his reading of space.
Okay.
He could take the ball under pressure, like surrounded by players, and just find a way out. A little touch, a body shift, created space.
Yeah, he always seemed to have time on the ball.
Right. And while everyone talks about the short passes, he had that amazing long pass, too, switching the play. Crucial.
And the trophies speak for themselves, don't they? World Cup, Euros with Spain, 8 Spanish league titles.
Can't argue with that, Hall. And you remember what Pep Guardiola said about him?
Remind me.
When Busquets is there, there are no problems.
Huh. Perfect summary. Just calming control. Okay, next name. On Winter. Dutch international. The article uses the words strength and elegance.
Yeah, an interesting mix. He was a key part of that really strong Dutch midfield, with Rijkaard and Wouters.
Right, a golden era for them.
Definitely. And Winter brought that physical presence, winning tackles, breaking things up. But he wasn't just a bruiser. He had good touch, could play a bit.
So steel and silk.
Kind of, yeah. Winning the Euros in '88 was massive, obviously. And he won league titles with Ajax and Inter Milan, so he could do it in different leagues, different systems.
Okay, versatile again. Valuable player. Now, Claude Makélélé, his name basically is the position now, isn't it?
It really is. The Makélélé role, the article gets this spot on. He absolutely defined it for a whole generation.
So what was his genius? It wasn't goals or assists, was it?
Nope, not at all. It was all about positioning, being in the right place all the time, relentless tackling, intercepting, just stopping attacks before they even got going.
That Zidane quote is amazing, isn't it? About the Bentley.
Oh, yeah. Why put 3 layers of gold paint on the Bentley when you are losing what is underneath it? Give me Makélélé.
It just shows how vital those, superstar players knew he was, the foundation.
Exactly. He just understood space and angles perfectly.
Right. Let's switch gears a bit. Roy Keane.
Ooh, yeah. Intensity personified. The article calls him one of the most influential players in Premier League history. What did that influence look like to you?
Pure drive.
Hmm.
Sheer will to win. He was Manchester United's heartbeat during that dominant era, wasn't he?
Absolutely. You felt it through the screen. The leadership was just raw.
Totally. And the article mentions him being one of the best individual performers and that Juventus game in '99. Ah, the semifinal, knowing he'd missed the final.
Yeah, and still putting in that colossal performance.
Yeah.
Just dragged him through. That says everything about his character. Grit.
He wasn't just about the tackles either, was he? He could play.
No, great engine. Could drive forward. But the leadership, it was setting standards, demanding the best from everyone. Incredible competitor.
Definitely. Okay, next. Patrick Vieira. Often went head-to-head with Keane, didn't he?
Oh, those battles were legendary.
Ah.
How would you contrast them?
Vieira seemed maybe more physically imposing, taller, longer strides, but skillful too. Elegant in a way. The article says he was a driving force for France and Arsenal.
Yeah, he had that rare blend, didn't he? The power to dominate physically, win those duels, but then the technique to glide past players and start attacks.
Box-to-box powerhouse.
Absolutely. And captaining France to Euro 2000 glory after the '98 World Cup. That shows his leadership quality, too. Big game player.
Those Keane-Vieira clashes were just epic viewing. Two giants.
They really were. Okay, moving to another Frenchman, Didier Deschamps, nicknamed the water carrier.
Yeah. Doesn't sound too glamorous, does it? But effective.
Incredibly effective.
Yeah.
It's actually a term of huge respect. You know, it means he did the unglamorous work that allowed others to shine.
So disciplined. Tactical.
Hugely. Very intelligent player. Knew his role inside out. Win the ball, give it simple, protect the defense. Solid.
And captaining France to the World Cup and the Euros, you don't do that unless you're a serious leader and organizer.
Exactly. And he won the Champions League with Marseille, too. Just reliable, dependable quality. Understood the game.
A manager's dream, probably. Okay, let's head to South America. Carlos Dunga.
The captain of the Seleção. Led Brazil to win the '94 World Cup.
Right. What defined his leadership? Brazil '94 wasn't maybe the most flamboyant Brazil team ever.
No, perhaps not. And Dunga kind of embodied that shift. He wasn't about the flashy skills. He was about organization, discipline, determination, fighting spirit.
But still technically sound, I assume.
Oh, yeah. Good passer, great at winning the ball back. His sheer will was infectious for that team. And being picked twice for the World Cup's best XI shows his quality.
So the anchor, the organizer.
Exactly. The glue, really.
Yeah.
Vital player, even if not the star attraction. Okay, nearly there. N'Golo Kante.
Everyone loves Conte, don't they? The energy, the smile.
Yeah, just universally admired. And for good reason. His work rate is just off the charts. It's unbelievable.
He was the absolute key to that Leicester Miracle season in 2016, wasn't he?
The engine? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Covered every blade of grass, then went to Chelsea, do it all again. More league titles, Champions League.
His ability to just appear, nick the ball, it's uncanny.
It really is.
Yeah?
Like having an extra player sometimes. Just
Yeah.
relentless energy and anticipation.
Amazing player. Okay, last but definitely not least, Xabi Alonso.
Elegance personified. The conductor.
Yeah, that passing range. Incredible. The article mentions his tactical brain, too.
Absolutely. He could just dictate the whole tempo of a match from deep. Those amazing long diagonal passes that just opened everything up.
A deep-lying playmaker, essentially.
Textbook example.
Yeah.
And look at his record. World Cup winner, 2 Euros with Spain, league titles in England, Spain, and Germany.
Wow. Succeeded everywhere. Adaptable.
Totally. Just pure class and football intelligence.
So, looking back at this list from Al Jazeera, it's quite a mix, isn't it? 10 incredible players, but they achieved greatness in different ways.
Yeah, you've got the all-around dominance of Matthias, the tactical genius of Busquets, the pure defensive discipline of Michele.
Keane's sheer force of will, Conte's unbelievable energy.
Right. Each had their own unique recipe for being a legendary defensive midfielder.
And understanding those differences, I think, really gives you a better appreciation for football's tactics, doesn't it? You see how vital these players are, even if they aren't always scoring the goals.
Absolutely. It deepens your whole understanding of how teams work, how games are won and lost in that middle third.
It really does. So final thought then, maybe something for you listening to ponder. Football tactics never stand still, right?
Always evolving.
So thinking about the next generation of great defensive midfielders, what qualities do you think will be most important? Will it be like pure athleticism, more tactical flexibility, or something completely new?
Good question. This list shows there isn't just one way to be great in that role.
Exactly. The future's still being written. Anyway, that's our deep dive for today. Thanks for joining us.